Cincinnati deserves all credit. They played great. They beat us. Coach Cronin and their program there. Obviously, it's a great team. Coach Cronin has done just a tremendous job there, and they played great. On our side, we just I've said it before and I'll say it again. When our four senior guards, play poorly collectively like they did, then we're going to struggle. Just it is what it is. We're going to struggle. And when they play well together collectively, we're a team will be tough to beat, and it's pretty that fine line. So, 14 of 49 for four guards together, just hard to overcome. 2 of 17 from three. In the end, it just comes down to us. Cincinnati 6 of 11 from three, and we're 2 of 17. Oklahoma State, I don't know, what are we, 3 of 21 from three, and Oklahoma State was 8 of 17. Florida, we were 6 of 18. Florida was 7 of 16 from three. And so in our 3 losses, we don't shoot the ball well from three. We've got to make threes. And I felt we went away from playing inside out with our guards. But again, we got some great looks from three. We just got to stick them. And but hey, no time to have a pity party. We got to, it was a loss. Cincinnati deserved to win. They played great. You got a great team and a great program, and we have to move on to the next game. Got a tough game on Thursday, and we got to ready to bounce back and get ready to play on for Thursday.
Josh, the 4 guards aside, would you agree that maybe Cincinnati was tougher and played more physical, got after it more than you guys did?
Well, we won the board battle. We ended up winning the rebound battle. We did a good job on the glass, and we won a lot of the 50-50 balls. They got us. Justin Jackson played really well at 7 blocks. He affected the game with his shot blocking. There was no doubt about that. But in the end, we didn't make shots, which is a credit to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they did a great job in that. But we make some threes. Some threes go down. We're probably talking on a different situation here. So that's what it comes down to. We got to be able to make shots.
Coach, did you feel like your team kind of started to force the issue there? About 8 minutes ago, you guys were down by 8, and it just seemed like, as you always said, you guys were trying to make the home run play.
Yeah, we had some opportunities. I mean, Joe Jackson misses a front end of 1-1. Michael Dixon misses 2 free throws. I mean, those guys shoot almost 90%, over their time. So that was tough. We're not a team that can make the home run play. We need to keep it simple and try to hit singles, and when we do that, we're good. And when we try to hit the home run, we're not as effective. So, but again, I felt it was just I've said it and I'll say it again. When our 4 senior guards play poorly together like that, we can survive. One maybe 2, but all 4 like that, it's just it's going to be hard to win. And those guys, they're 22, 23. They're seniors. They've been through it. I've said it before. We put a lot of eggs in their basket, and they got to get the job done. It's as plain and simple as that.
Josh, you sent a message to Joe. It was crunch time of the second half, and he was on the bench for an extended period of time. Did you see something in his body language? I mean, he didn't really want to talk about it, so we're asking.
No, it was all 4 senior guards. I mean, Joe played 33 minutes. It wasn't like I benched him. I mean, Joe played 33 minutes. Chris played 38. Jaron played 28. Michael played 29. So Joe played the second most minutes of the guards. I just think I was just trying to find a combination out of those 4 guards. None of those 4 were really playing well, and again, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not a negative towards them. It's just because me as a head coach, I've told them. I mean, our team knows this. I mean, we've put eggs in their basket. They've got to step up and get the job done. And so if things aren't going well, it's going to be a struggle, and but we're going to roll with them, and they just got to get the job done. All 4 guys.
When they're so clearly not playing well, do you ever think of taking some of the eggs out of their basket and going, trying Austin again, or going 2 bigs, or emphasizing the inside out, which had been successful?
I thought I thought Austin, I thought in the first half he did some good. There was some, I started the second half with David because I just thought David was playing well. And then, when you look back on it after the game, you can say, well, I could have done this or could have done that. There's obviously those things are always. But, Jeff, you're just going to I'm a guy that's going to, as I've told our team, we're going to roll with those guys. And let me say this, those four guys don't always play together. It's not a four-guard, all playing at the same time. It's not small ball. It's just three of those four guys are always going to be on the floor at one time, the majority of time, or maybe all four at one time. And when they struggle, it just makes it hard. It just makes it hard. And so, Jeff, they're seniors. They're 22. They're 23. They've been through it. They're older. You're just going to go with them, and they got to step up and produce for you. They got to get the job done. 14 of 49, and I'll tell you this: some of the shots were wide open, just wide open. We just got to make them.
It's sort of piggybacking off Jeff's question. Had Austin or had Nick not shown you enough in the first half? Did you decide at halftime I'm not going?
No, it wasn't anything like that. It was just more the flow of the game. Nothing that they did. Nothing with them individually. Just the flow of the game. Obviously, looking back now after the game's over, could we have done something differently? The only thing was, maybe make some different subs. But I don't have any issues with me rolling with those guards because I've said it from the beginning. Back at the Oklahoma State game, I said it back in July, and I'll continue to say it through the rest of the season. We're going to roll with those guys, and they got to get the job done. If they don't get the job done, if they're, over, it makes it a struggle for us, and and they've practiced well, And the other thing is, they played very well on Tuesday. They were so good on Tuesday. So as a coach, you're sitting there thinking, man, we're going to snap out of it because they were so good on Tuesday. Those four guys on Tuesday were as good as any four together collectively in the country. And then today, it was polar opposite. So, and as a coach, when you're with those guys, you just think they're going to kind of snap out of it.
Coach, the last few times we've talked about Austin being in a funk and just learning the college life.
Yep.
Going to classes and all these things is new for him. But what is it going to take for this kid to toughen up and to maybe have that light bulb go off?
No, Austin's going to be a great player, and this is his first, conference game at home. I thought he did a great job on Tuesday defensively against pick and roll. That was his best he's been. He only played 11 minutes. He missed a couple of short ones there, but. Austin's going to be just fine. I have no issues with Austin. he's going to be really, really good. And there's going to be some highs and some lows, some ups and downs. We need him to play great. And but all that being said, we can pinpoint anything. Those four guards got to get the job done. It is what it is. We got those guys. We can't have Jaron 2 for 13. Can't have Chris 2 for 11. Can't have Michael Dixon 4 for 12. We can't have those three guys 2 for 16 from 3. We can't have Joe with 5 turnovers. Those things just bite us in the butt. They've all been, they're 4 seniors. They've all have been on a team that's won over 30 games. The only thing they haven't done is advance to the second weekend. And if we want to do that, those 4 guys are going to have to produce. Every time we step on the floor, and I've said this over and over, those 4 guys collectively have to be elite every time we step on the floor. And if not, we can survive one guy being off, but 2, 3, 4, all 4, makes it really tough. Makes it really tough.
You touched on it just a minute ago with the block shots, but how good was their defense overall? Obviously they came in 5th in the nation in points allowed, but they were really swarming.
They did a great job defensively. They're a very good defensive team. Mick Cronin obviously does a tremendous job with those guys. Very well coached. Justin Jackson did affected obviously with his shot blocking, and they're just a very well coached team. Mick Cronin does an excellent job.
Josh, they were able to play at their pace most of the time, especially in the second half. What was it about their half-court offense that gave your defense?
When we don't make shots, it sucks the life out of you. You don't make threes, you don't make shots. It's when you can't manufacture points, it's hard to get energy. It affects everything. You can sit here and look at anything else. It's a simple game. If we're not making shots, South Florida, we made shots and we were all over the place. And when you're not making shots, it's just a struggle. And it's hard to manufacture points that way because it takes some life out of you, and defensively. But We got to be able to make some threes just to loosen up the defense. We have to be able to make some threes. We're too good of a shooting team. We can't have Michael Dixon, 1 of 6, who's over 40% of his at Missouri. We can't have Chris Crawford, 1 of 5. I mean, Jaron Johnson can't be 0 for 5. I mean, he had 5 wide open looks. And he's got to make them. I mean, I heard Mick Cronin down there, let him shoot, let him shoot. I mean, that's what he was saying. But he was sitting there wide open. I mean, it's shooting practice. And obviously, you know, Joe just can't afford 5 turnovers. So we just got to make some shots. But we got to get, we'll look at the film, look what we need to do to correct the things that we need to correct and be ready to go on Monday. We can't have a pity party. We got to get ready to go. We got to do our job. We got to have a great practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, correct what we need to correct, and be ready to play on Thursday.